Hello. Oh, I was about to burp. There you go. Great to introduce stream this a nice big belch. Ooh, alright. Scene. There you go. Oh, let's try to get comfortable. Alright. Let's get started. So we're trying to get all this curved hair at the back here now. So I'm gonna... Very thick at the back, do I just... do this and then pull that in here. Obviously have it so it goes to the top of the bag. Oh. And do that with all of them. Hello! Oh, how do you say that? Gizro TV or is it Nizro TV? Or is it Gnizro? How's it going, man? I'm glad you're here with us today. And I hope you enjoy your stay. As do I to all of you. We make this nice and thick again. Twist it. People, like I said, people do this with a pen, but that moves it, so I guess you do that. Then how would I rotate? No. Middle mouse click rotates on here, so you'd have to do one of these to rotate, and then you'd move it. Silent G for the English. Right, okay, so Nizro. Right? So you're like, no, you said it wrong again. I'll be like, oh, damn it. See, it's very thick up here now that we don't want it to. So I want this to seal. Do I want this over the top or underneath? I have this underneath. I can have you over the top. Kind of just repeated what I said. There you go. Like that. And this is like a thick base. So we work it from the back, but that doesn't look very good to me. But it does curve back like that. But look at it, like scrunch up at the bottom here. Maybe right now we'll work on getting the hair built up. This is supposed to be an in-game character, so this is gonna be interesting optimizing. I want him to be on my boat that I made. I think that'd be very cool. Time to go into ZBrush to see if I can make environments with alphas. Interesting. Should I go to your channel and see what you do? How do I go to your channel? Go to channel. Oh, all I see is I am a head out. Was that a stream? No. The Bombardier squares and the struggle pants. Interesting. See, I was actually thinking of trying to do this. Like, my plan was to originally do this in ZBrush, but I don't know. I liked how I was seeing people do it in Blender, and I saw how someone did the hair, and I was like, I'm gonna try to get this all done in Blender. Oh, I see. I'm pretty good. I really want to go on diet after something I saw today. It's encouraged me to lose a bit of weight again. I've lost weight in the past, so it won't be my first rodeo, but it's very difficult in the situation I'm in right now. I don't really have room to exercise. It's an episode I made in high school. Oh, with a horrible singer. Nice. What if I take you instead? just go underneath. It's got to do right. So we don't actually need to worry about clipping as much as I'm actually worrying, because the clipping will look kind of like it's merged together anyway when we start doing the textures. Buy Nintendo Switch Sports XL. I still don't have enough room to do it. This room is 6 foot by 8 foot, and I've got my PC. That's my mattress pushed up against the wall. But I want to start. I bought like green tea and stuff. I'm gonna start drinking more of that. I'm gonna try. I always try to cut out energy drinks when I want to lose weight. As much as I love energy drinks, I really do like energy drinks. They're usually one of the first things I cut. And I'm not really someone who snacks anyway, so it's very easy to cut that. I don't like. There's not a single piece of wrapper on my desk from me eating something. There's some bottles. Oh, I've not even drunk all this. Nice. I got some green tea. There's some bottles. So some drinks that sometimes are unhealthy. Let's see the calories in this. 19 calories. I kind of want to lose some of the weight playing Beat Saber, but I got to move first. And I'll do like hour session of Beat Saber. I know people think that's silly, like what? How could you lose weight doing Beat Saber? But when you play some of the really hard songs, you do really move. You might look ridiculous, but you do really move. I say that, I remember when I was playing VR, not too many years ago, like probably 2 years ago, and my brother, my twin brother, literally said to me, he's like, you know what, you look cool in game, and you look cool in real life, and I was like, I can't tell if he's trolling. I'm not sure how I want that to overlap. Do I want it to do that like I'm doing? If we actually see it from this angle, we're not actually reaching a point, so if we do something like this. So we've got the head here, which is fine because we might, I did it before, but we might do like a ball cap for the head. So if I like, want to just grab beats of it, and then I pull it up, and then basically for all the empty spots, we'll have a separate mesh there. Don't know yet. Obviously, I've got to wait to see how I want to do that. All right, let's delete these hairs. I'll redo those. That and that. Obviously, like I've pointed out yesterday, I've never done anything like this before. I am not a character artist. This is my first rodeo ever doing anything like this, so it's going to be a bit of a ride. But that's the exciting part. Like I've always said on my streams, I have a really bad habit of trying new things. And it means I always look ridiculous on the stream because I'm not trying anything I'm actually good at. Streaming's what made me start doing stylized art. I had no idea how to do that before I started streaming. So that was a bit of a journey. But it's all very fun. And you guys get to be here with me. It looks amazing. I'm in no way able to do this. You don't think so? You'd be surprised how much this actually gets broken up. Like, look at the legs. Then if we separate that out, look. It's all like, I basically broke this up the same way I would break up a model. So if we looked at like this deodorant can, I got a couple in it. Like I'd make it so like this was one model, like our actual can, and then I'd separate this top part out into a separate model, and then I'd separate this top cap bit to a separate model, because separating it, and then even the little spray bit nozzle, I'd separate it into a different model. That way I can work in stages. This is sick, thank you. That way I can work in stages if I was to get it made. So when I was making this character, which is my friend's concept art, so that's obviously what I'm replicating. He doesn't quite fit the same you know, arm stuff. He's T-posed, so he should look like that after rigging. I still think his cheek needs to come out more. I don't know if I want to just ignore the fact that his cheek should come out more, because I don't want to mess anything up. this character for animation or for a render? It's for my scene. I'll show you. You'll see my scene, right? I can't remember. I feel like I recognize your name. How do I say it? Where is it? Garcia. I want to pop him into the scene I was making, and for a friend. It's my friend's drawing, and I said to him, "That looks really cool. I want to try to make that." So we're gonna do exactly that. We're gonna try to make it. Who knows what we'll get. I want to get back to Blender, but I am not finding the motivation that will push me back into it. It's almost 6 months without modeling. I am free that I lost all my skills. Yeah. That's great so far, thank you. Yeah, I want to pop him in this scene. And then I want to animate him. So I guess it is for a little animation. I don't know why, but ever since UE4 updated, it doesn't run well on the stream anymore. Look how slow that runs. I won't full screen it. Hopefully that runs a bit better. You're going to rig it. No, I have a friend who's very good at rigging, who volunteered to rig it. So that'd be interesting. I want to probably use him instead of her or something. Or maybe have him like in a different room, animated, maybe grabbing something and doing something. It's amazing, thank you. So yeah, I want him in here somewhere. I want him doing something in one of these scenes. One of these areas. Because I think that'd be really cool. Currently working on a game for an arcade machine. I am one of the environment hosts. Oh, that's cool. Mohammed, what I'd say about like that is just start with something really, really small and then basically just learn the controls. So if you come into Blender, and I know sometimes it's hard to get that initial push, but it's one of those things. It's really hard to give any advice. Oh, you know what? I haven't taken my anti-vitamin. It's really hard to give advice on, like, I don't know if I'm about to show me taking the anti-vitamin on camera. Let me. Oh, yeah. Let me just give you a second camera. That one. There it goes. Yeah, it's really hard to give advice on getting that initial push to do something, because it's like anything. Even something small, right? Like you sit there and go, I want to watch a movie, and then you have this. Let me get my camera back on. Put the meme of just do it. Exactly. Because that's all it is at the end of the day. It is just do it. Like I just said about a movie. If you want to watch a movie, you'll sometimes sit there for hours and you don't want to pick anything. You're really indecisive. It's the same sort of thing. You need to push past that indecisiveness and just sort of do it. And yeah, that's the only advice I can really give for it. Because anytime I've ever wanted to do something, and like you guys have seen, I went from doing something I was comfortable with, which was my very first stream. I was pretty comfortable with making interior designs. Now, I'd never done it really in UE4 before. I'd always rendered it in Blender when I was younger. But, you know, mostly I was comfortable with it, right? And then it came to a point where, like, I sat there. Let's look at what I did next. It was this. I sat there. My friend sent me a really simple sketch that he did in 5 minutes of like a space scene. It was more. No, it wasn't a space scene. Sorry, it was just a door. Oh, have I not got a picture of it? It was kind of like from here. Well, no. It's basically just like that. All you could see was like here. And I'm like, okay. And we originally didn't design it in space, but out of nowhere. And I want to get a better. I want to find this scene on my computer and redo the backdrop and maybe redo some bits because the backdrop looks terrible. I want an actual space, like a nebula and stuff. And I was like, okay. And out of nowhere, I went, let's make it space. And I pushed myself to do that because I wasn't comfortable with it, but I did it anyway. And then then we did this, and again, it was another one of those things. Car looks amazing. Thank you. It was actually, believe it or not, that car. It's actually all animated. I should be meant this car, right? Or did you mean the truck? I don't know if I showed that. Wow. Apparently, my YouTube videos don't want to load very well. I ain't disconnected, have I? Oh, it's playing. Yeah. The actual vehicle, right? If we go to Ratchet and Clank, was designed after the Ratchet and Clank taxi. I remember someone saying something about. I didn't realize I had eyes. Someone said something about the Ratchet and Clank taxi. Or did someone say it, or did I think about it? And I was like, I want to make that. So I made it look realistic. And I just put out my scene. Vertex animation or really animation? Oh, damn. Wait, what? What? Oh, what you mean the video I just said? What you just watched? Real. Yeah, then we sat there and we said, I woke up one morning and I remember thinking, so it didn't actually start off making this scene. I don't know if this is actually inspiring you, Mohammed, but I'm just going through sort of what inspires me and what makes me get up and try something new and push to do something. And sometimes all it takes is I wake up in the morning and I tell myself, I want to try to make a stylized weapon. And I thought about the process of how I wanted to do it. And then I just did. I got on my computer. I didn't stream me making these weapons. Like, is it animated in Blender, then put in there, or maybe put through shaders? The sails are done through shaders, but I actually want the character animated with their arms and everything. And yeah, and I woke up one morning and went, I want to make these. So I did. I just sat there and I just did it. I didn't care if it was going to look good. I didn't care the progress I was going to make. I just wanted to see if I could. And that's kind of all it takes to... Wow, the music's really loud. It's like... Oh, God. I don't know why, but I have the music so low, but it still comes through loud. Like, that is coming through my equalizer so loud. Yeah, and it's just sort of slapping yourself in the face and saying, I'm going to go do this. You know what I mean? Like, because if you don't, you'll just sit there and regret not doing what you wanted to do. Like, oh, I'll just play games instead, or I can't be bothered. And it just takes that little bit of push, because when you start, you keep going most of the time. Like, you're like, oh, I want to make a monitor. And you just sit there and you start messing with the shapes, and you're like, okay, how do I want to do the inset? Oh, I'll do this, pull this in. And you basically start making... I don't know, you just go with it and you hope what you end up with is going to look good. And it doesn't... I think the best advice I could give is don't worry if it doesn't turn out good. Because anytime you spend doing 3D art, doing anything, any hobby... or any artistic thing you want to do, is not time wasted, because you're learning from it. You know what I'm saying? You're like, boom, look at that basic model. Basic monitor. Whoa, and you're like, let's put a janky keyboard on it too. And it's just good practice. It's like with any art thing, right? Anytime you spend doing it, is just going in the long run. It's all those numbers being added up for like time in practice. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's just don't worry that you're not gonna go into it amazing. Especially you just said you had 6 months away, so it might take a little bit of getting that rust off to get to a point where you're like, okay, I'm comfortable with the work I'm outputting now. I really suck at remembering how to do things. So I always have to come back to my stuff and go, this sucks. But yeah, you got to push through it. I know I'm reiterating myself a little bit, but yeah, it's important to just basically take what I said, and hopefully you can eventually see yourself improving. Oh. I mean, they say it takes 10,000 hours to perfect any skill, so remember that. Actually, no, let's just do this. I like how I'm procrastinating right now. But even this is good practice for myself. Have I done this a million times before? Hell yeah. Does it matter? No. Because the more you practice, the better you're going to get. Also, surrounding you with people you can ask precise questions helps. Yeah, that's what I'm here for. I want you guys to come to me if you need help with anything. You know, I might not always be able to help. I'm not a master of this trade, but sometimes it can be something really small. How do you go about making this, Steve? Oh, the way I would usually do that is like this, and it's some small tips that that can really help bring something together. And one I always like to talk about is you don't have to make something one mesh. Like if we close this now, if we go to here, right, like I just showed with this guy, he's not one mesh. Watch, his neck isn't even the same. Look. Now, is that going to cause problems in the long run? Who knows? But right now, it works. Look, his torso, his arms, his fingers. It's all separated because from a developer's perspective, from a modeler perspective, I can separate those pieces out and make them. But trying to connect them all together just doesn't work very well. And in a lot of cases, it's more realistic to separate them, right? Someone's gloves aren't attached to their person, so it makes sense that I have that separate. All of this stuff. His shirt is technically... In fact, I think the shirt is separate. Yeah, look, the shirt's separate. I've separated all the components out that would be separate in real life. Yeah, Unreal and Substance have a Discord that's really good. But a lot of it just comes down to pushing yourself to do it. Taking that first step. And a lot of times it is the hardest step to take. And it's just sort of like I said, it's hard to give advice on because you just got to do it. My friend who drew this said he should have made him bald because it would have been easier for me. I was like, you're not wrong. It would have been way easier. So what if we make it so these parts come out a tad here, right? And then we have this guy peek out from there. So let's delete you and you. Oh my god, what is happening there? What is happening in there? Aurora Borealis? Aurora Borealis! Great tool for clothing if you're interested in characters. Is Marvelous Designer. Oh, don't worry, I know. I know. But I haven't got money for it. Well, maybe I do kind of now. But at the end of the day, if my company doesn't want me to use Marvelous Designer, then I won't. I'm not a character artist. I'm not here to show everyone I could be a really good character artist. I'm just here to practice and have a bit of fun. That's what we try to do in this stream. So we're just trying to have a bit of fun. Do I want to learn a new piece of software? Eh. Learning new software can be really tedious. Use for free. Use the free version. Enjoyed it a lot. Oh, there's the free version. I've had a friend use it. I remember, and he really enjoyed it. But I mean, unless I after making this, I'm like, boom! I do want to make characters. I do want to do cloth. It's not like I'm too interested right now. Because I make environments. That's my job, and that's what I do usually in my spare time. We're only doing this because I wanted to change the pace. I thought it'd be interesting. I was never actually going to stream it, but I thought you guys might enjoy it. I kind of just want to make it come just above here. Really hard to get it sticking up. No, wrong one. Sticking above the hair. Like, it looks like there's loads of space here, but as soon as I pull it out, it's just overlapping things. This part's actually got to be thick, right? So if we look at this, he's got a thick part at the bottom. And it doesn't look right now, but maybe after we get it all in, it might look fine. So we'll keep it there for now. Go to learn. Where do you work at? I work at Psycho Hound. They're a very, very small company in England, and we haven't released a game yet, I don't believe. I don't think they have. So they're very hard to find too much information on. I feel like my hair's parted the wrong way, but it's not. Wow, I'm sweaty, apparently. Apparently I'm very nervous. Look at this sweaty hair. Good to learn other stuff, especially in studio setting. It makes you able to communicate better. True, but I already know so much about my job. Like, I'm super technical on all the materials, particles, post-processing materials and shaders. I set up collisions in engine. Then I do all the modular kitting. I do the trim sheets out. Alpha. Not alpha. I can't remember the code. I do the modeling, sculpting, texturing. What else do I do? I do so much in my company. My company's got 2 artists in it, so I kind of have to do a lot of stuff. Oh, I'm the lighting artist. I'm the not conceptual artist. I do not do concept art. I suck at it. That cool, brother. Cool artwork. Thank you, man. Mm. Yeah, I already do so much in different sort of jobs in my company that I'm not too eager to add another job onto that belt. I am not the character artist in my company, and I kind of don't want to add that like as well. And Dreams of VR Studio and in Farmsborough works with Ubisoft. Oh, how did that go? I mean, I've always told a story about me applying for work. It took me 6 years to finally get the job I'm in at the moment. I'm already in, I was going to say. I'm in at the moment. So I'm not particularly the best person to ask about how to get into a job very quickly, or even to ask about getting into a job, because clearly I'm not very good at it. Unfortunately, I was always told my CV and everything was fine. But that didn't help me find work any quicker. So I was basically working retail for 6 years while I waited and waited for someone to finally at least give me an interview. Because I probably applied for over 200 art jobs and got 1 interview in that time. And it wasn't even an interview. My boss saw me doing a stream. He watched my stream and then literally said to me, "I like what you do. Do you want a job?" And I was like, "Yeah." I think this is too thick up here. Let's make it a little bit thinner. A little bit thinner here. Kind of want 1 more shrine coming here. I was in Ubisoft. Damn. Got a referral for a friend who works there. Hopefully I get accepted. I think it's a place where I can learn a lot. See, I'd like to work somewhere I can learn a lot. Right now, like, I don't want to... I like my job right now. But if I were to obviously lose my job, or God forbid the company goes under, I would like to work somewhere where I can actually learn something, because right now I can't. I'm the lead artist in my company. There's only 2 artists. So it's very hard to learn anything, except just learning from myself. Like, oh, let's go on a YouTube video and see if we can find out any new stuff. Yeah, I kind of want 1 more that comes out here. Maybe twist a bit here. That's better. All that spiky hair. Let's get 1 more here. Pull this one up. Make this one a bit thicker. Pull you up. Oh, wrong way. Click that under there. Pull that over. So I'll read what you've written in just a second. Did that down. Ooh, did that down a tad. In which way you're hand sculpting? What, like in... So a lot of my sculpting work is basically to be rendered out, right? So if we Refer me. Peace. Well, are you saying me sculpting in general, or are you saying how am I going to sculpt this character? Because I don't think I will in the end. I think I'm going to try to make it all through box modeling. Because, I mean, it's all box modeled right now. I still don't like that hair. I feel like we have to go slower as we bring it down, not big chunks. Which is fine, as long as I know that as I'm doing it. Ugh. Not that way, this way. Maybe not. Let me make it thinner. Pull this up. Yeah, like that. So it comes out like that. Twist this. Twist this. Twist this. And that's got to be pulled out a bit. What is happening? It's like super thick. Let me redo that one. No, maybe not. The other one's kind of really far in the hair as well. So I just maybe need to pull it out a bit. What is happening here? Oh, it's super twisted. There. Oh, there we go. Cool. It comes over here, and then we want this part to be flatter. There you go. Pull that over here. Cool. Then I want to increase that so we fill in that gap. Cool. Maybe pull this one over a tad, like this. Okay, that's what you guys saying. Can you show me the conceptual art you're basing this off? Oh, if I just turn around... Oh, he's right there. That's what I'm basing it off. That's what he looks like. I do need to make his chick a little bit chubbier. And I'll try to give him a completely blank expression right now. I kind of feel like I need to bulge this out. I've got it so his teeth make a bit of a bulge, but I feel like that's coming out too much. Or I just need to make this a bit fatter. Yeah, more like that. That's better. Yeah, I'm trying to make him as generic as possible because I need my friend to then rig it up to match the way he looks. I'm so lazy, I'd have made him bald. I mean, he was, I guess, originally. I mean, let's see. I'll show you what it looks like when he's bald. I should really turn that into a collection, but I always forget how to make collections, so we haven't done that. There you go. My friend actually said he looked really good bald, and he said he doesn't mind if I leave him bald. But I was like, no, no, no. I'm going to try to do hair. I think this may be too thick. I'm not sure. Well, like it'd fit your scene a lot if you gave him dreads mixed around in his hair. Well, I'm just making it from what my friend, the concept art. So I'll get the hair done the way I think he wants it, and then I can talk to him about if he wants any changes. Because I'm just making it for him, really. I want to add it to my scene after doing it, but it's mainly just for my friend. Things like sculpting sharp geometry on the head and sculpting a robot visor and sharp crevices. Huh? So we've got this part here. We've got a bit. He's balding over here, so let's get a bit of hair here. But again, we're mostly doing this just to have a bit of fun. We're not, you know. Do I make that all like this, or do I get more of a? What if we do something? Ooh, we'll do something like this. Yeah, we're just doing this for fun. I'm not trying to get a perfected thing anyway. We're just messing around, really. Every time I delete it just freaks out. See what I mean? What if we have this part come only to like here? Because having the hair all come to the same length may look a little too formal. So just mixing that up to make it a bit thinner. If I pull this down. Again, we're not too fast if it clips with the hair, because when it's textured, it won't look like it won't look like an issue. There you go. Words. I've also got to delete a lot of geometry after this, because if we actually go into the head, You'll see a lot of extra bits that don't need to exist. You just need to add aging around the sides to make it like a goblin. I could do that in textures though, right? Or I guess I could pop it into a ZBrush and try to get some wrinkles in. And then bake that down. Because I do want it obviously to work in games. I don't want it to be super high poly. So that stuff would obviously need to be baked down. Why did it take me all the way over there? Jesus. So it does clip here though. And that's not a problem, but it's not like I want to see. I want this... Yeah, to do something like that. That looks much, much nicer. This I don't think we're going to worry about. I could probably get rid of some of its thickness. Cool, and then I could probably use this one. Yes, like that. Put it just over you, and we've got this nice sharp hair strand. You could stab someone with this. You just put like loads of jellies there. Well, no one uses jelly anymore, right? These wax, so he's just put like a lot of wax in his head. It's just made these sharp hair. He is too cute to be a goblin. Ah. I mean, the second concept art he drew of him, he looked like a menace. So maybe I should show you guys the second concept art. I think this is twisting a little too far down here. I think I want this to come over here a little bit. How often do you guys use your numpad to move around the scene? Like 1, 3, 7, and 9. And then 5 sorts between orthographic and perspective. Because I know a lot of people who don't even have numpads on their keyboard. And I don't think I could work in Blender without one. But that's just me. Strand here. I do like the pokey hair. I think it looks really cool. Which is why I'm doing it. If I didn't think it looked good, I wouldn't be continuing to do it, obviously. But I think it looks kind of neat. Having this really sharp looking hair coming from his head. I use Alt and mouse. Or is it Control and mouse? Which button on the mouse? There's no one that snaps to your angles. Ah! So, Alt and then middle mouse click. See, I still don't like this hair. I mean, this hair is the one that stands out the most in not being right. And every time I went to swap it over yesterday, I didn't like. So that one's inverted. We don't want that one. That one. That just makes it look like there's so much coming in. Maybe I should leave it like that, though. Yep, so much easier. Yeah. I really like the numpad, though. Because I know exactly where it's going to take me. Like, if I'm down here working on him and I push Alt, middle mouse, I've got to go like this and then like this, right? Whereas if I'm down here, I just press 7 and I go straight to the top. So because I'm used to it, I know exactly where it's going to take me. And then Alt. And if you hold Control and place it, you get the inverted. Sorry if that made anyone dizzy. So I think, for me, I don't think it would be easier. Question mark. I'm not sure. I'm getting lower and lower in my chair. Let me sit back up. Let's drag you up a little bit. What's his hair supposed to be? Oh, it's supposed to be one that just connects to this. Right. Problem is, as well, is like when you're working with it, you can always make improvements. But doesn't necessarily mean you should spend the time doing so. Because if you... that sounds mad, like I'm giving the worst advice ever by saying that. But the problem with doing that is sometimes you'll just sit there and constantly be working on something and you'll never finish it. Because you're obsessed with making these small improvements. And it's... A lot of my friends have never finished... like anything, because they spend too much time worrying about the small details instead of just getting something done. Like right now, I'm being a little bit pedantic about how I want this hair to look. I don't like how it looks now. How did it look? I'm back. Hey, how's it going? You left me? Get back to there. I think that looks... Does that look fine? Maybe it's because I need to twist this. I know, again, I'm going against what I just said about not spending too much time. working on the same thing, but I feel like I can just make these tiny improvements right now, and it shouldn't take me too long. There we go. It does kind of go into his hair. I guess realistically we'd pull this over, but I think that should be fine, just the way it looks. We've got a hair already in here. Oh, that is a hair there. Nice. So we're always seeing hair as we look. Very, very good. I mean, I could leave it like that, and he will probably kind of have hair. I mean, I guess I should do it from here, but we have to make it so it comes really, really low, as you can see here. Which makes me think, why did I make this only come to here? It clearly comes to, like, here. Why did I do that? Like, it clearly comes to, like, here, right? And it... See, the way that that droops isn't... It makes it so the hair would come, like, to here. But I don't want to make that change right now. So maybe I'll leave it the way it is. And we'll say, it's fine, it's good enough. Because I don't really want to take the time now to redo that bit. Unless the person I'm making it for specifically requests and says, no, Steve, it needs to be like this. I will leave it like this. Because I think it looks good enough. I think that's the difference between industry and fun. Wait. Don't make stuff that people will never see. Yeah, that as well. I think, did I say that? Was you repeating me or was you telling me that? I can't even remember what I've said now. I think that's the difference between industry and fun work, though. When I'm doing industry work, of course, I'm cutting corners, but I like making small improvements on my small projects since it's fun. I mean, true. The problem, though, so I'll read what you're writing in a second. Maybe you've already said this, but the problem with doing stuff for fun is it for fun? Because as artists, we try to put it on our art stations and stuff because we want to be hired. So yeah, it's for fun, but we are also doing it to a point where we have to give ourselves deadlines. Because if we spend 5 years making one piece of art that could have taken us 6 months, we've now made it so we're 4.5 years behind on what we could have on our portfolio, right? So I feel like there's a balance between even on your own work to cut corners, like own fun work. When the industry work, of course, blah, blah, blah. Wait, no, did I read all that? Of course, I'm cutting corners. Oh yeah, I did, yeah. Mean true, just look at it from the point that if you make it for your portfolio, are you gonna showcase it? There you go. Yeah, using new stuff in new projects is always cool. Just kill it with an extension of the head. It make it hair. Yeah, that's right. I see what you're saying. Yeah. It's an odd balance because obviously we all want to spend as much time as we want on something, but unfortunately we don't have that privilege to an extent. I'm only really sour on this point. Not sour. I'm only really strict on this point because I've had so many friends who I think could have probably found work if they didn't postpone or if they didn't try so hard to make something perfect. Because from a developer's perspective, they're going to look at that work and go, that looks cool. Then when they read, it took them, for example, 5 years. Time and energy, greatest enemies, yeah. When a developer sees that took you 5 years, their instant reaction is going to be like, oh, that's a long time. Was that necessary? I want this person to make assets in a month, not 5 years. So yeah, it's awkward. And it's the biggest advice I think I can give to any artist who is looking for a job. If you're looking just to have fun, that's fine. But if you are looking for work, manage your time and try to get projects done rather than perfected. I personally think that's more important. And I completely understand people who disagree with that point. Don't get me wrong. If you sit there and say, oh, I'm not going to disagree with Steve because, you know, that's how he feels about it. I completely understand if you disagree with that sentiment. It's not the most agreed on sentiment already amongst, like, my friends. At the end of the day, I just want all my friends to find the job they want. And if I can feel like I could give them any sound advice on doing so, I'm going to. And if that's the advice I feel like is going to help them, oh, bro, maybe you need to spend a little less time perfecting your work and just trying to get it done. I'm going to say that because I want them to find work. I want them to be in a job that they're happy with. And and I don't want them to sit working at a job they hate because no one wanted to hire them because they never had any work to show on their portfolio because they took too long to make it. I mean, heck, I was in my company for a couple of months and I was looking to try to get my friend a job working there, and I finally got him a job working there. Now he, you know, we complain about our job like any job, but compared to where he used to work, I won't say where, which is just, I'll just say it was just a retail job, which is fine if you want to work a retail job. I'm not saying there's anything bad about that, but compared to that, he's enjoying it a lot more because I want my friends to be in a situation they're going to enjoy their work. Yeah, participating in jams is always good. Like I was saying earlier, any practice you can get, whether it's doing a jam or whether it's just doing small bits over and over again, that repetition is really helpful for making you just a better artist overall. I mean, let's face it, when you work in the industry, a lot of your job will be repetitive because you're going to be making assets over and over and over again. So you've got to get used to that repetitive nature anyway. I wish I could find as in-house job at a game industry where I live, but there is nothing nearby, sadly. Ah, that sucks. I don't like remote. I get distracted too easy. Oh, really? I love remote work. I feel like I would like a couple of days a week in office maybe to just socialize with the people I actually work with, but I love being able to sit here. I roll out of bed. Like, I start work at 9. I roll out of bed at 8:59. I'm just like, oh, I press the on button on my computer. And then within 60 seconds, like, get out of my bed, I push it up against the wall, I sit down on my chair, I sign in, and then I go, well, I say in, I sign into my PC, then I say into work, and then I load up Unreal Engine or Blender or whatever I was working on before I left work the previous day. I say left work, I don't leave work, you know what I mean? I'm still here. I think something that's really hard, that someone did warn me about, is wanting to do 3D outside of work, so streaming for you guys and stuff. It's definitely a challenge that I didn't think I would have many problems with. But now that I'm doing it, and I only stream 2 days a week, it is very difficult. It is something that, because you get drained during the week. And I look at my PC, and I'm like, I'm streaming today, and I don't get a fuzzy feeling going, oh, streaming. I say to myself, oh, I've got to do more 3D. When I start doing it, though, it feels a lot better. And it's to do with that first step I was talking about earlier. Taking that first step is really, really important. Because you don't know how much you're going to enjoy something till you actually try it. And despite always worrying every time I wake up and I'm like, I've got to do streaming today, it's Friday. Which I work on a Friday anyway, or it's Saturday. Remote has its perks, that's for sure. Yeah, it really does. Oh, what was I saying? Yeah, it's like I don't feel very excited when I need to stream because I've been doing it all week. I've been doing 3D all week, but when I do get started and I get to talk to you guys keep me company, and we get to just talk about work, talk about 3D, talk about anything. That's really exciting for me. So I would say, you guys, like, don't worry about chatting with me in chat. I want you here to chat with me. It keeps me productive. I'm a very strange person. I'm more productive when I'm distracted and I'm entertained by something that isn't my work, because I guess it makes it feel less like work. You know, you know. Had a bit of a stutter there. So yeah, I always want to encourage you guys to chat with me when I'm streaming. I'm always going to encourage you guys to do so. Same. Yeah, it's why I don't think I'd work well in office, because if my boss walked over to my computer and saw that I was watching Friends in the background, I feel like he'll feel like I'm slacking off, but I'm not, because I have 3 monitors, partly so I can sometimes watch something on one, because when I'm really bored of my work, it's hard to find the productivity or the motivation to do more. But if I have Friends on my other monitor, and I'm listening to it, and I'm sometimes glancing over, because, it's a funny scene, I can enjoy myself, or even listen to audiobooks and stuff, not audiobooks, podcasts. I kind of want to get into audiobooks. But yeah, if I can enjoy myself in a way while working, it makes the experience better and it makes me work better. You like going to the gym. Once you are there, you can do whatever. Yes, you need to, but once you to go in the first place is the biggest step. Yeah, it's so true. I used to go to the gym 5-6 days a week, and I had friends to go with, so they was able to encourage me. Now that I don't have that, I haven't been to the gym in like 5 years. Yeah, 5 years. Wow. Because I don't have friends to go with, because there's no incentive to go. And I do work full time now and stuff, so it's very hard to actually squeeze that in. And I don't have a gym near me anyway, so I haven't had a gym near me in some time, in probably those 5 years, to be honest. When I lived there was probably a gym 50-minute walk away, so it's probably not worth joining the gym if I've got to already walk 50 minutes. It's already my exercise. And then if I exercise to try to walk home, I don't think I'm going to be able to walk home after exercising 50 minutes. That's 50 minutes there, 50 minutes back. So yeah, it is partly because of that, but yeah, it's always hard to find that incentive to actually want to do it. So I used to love going to the gym. It was a very social experience for me, because like I said, I went with my friends. Let's have this one dangle down a bit like this. Come over here, make this part a bit thicker. Pull you up a little bit, squeeze you in. I do think one interesting lesson you need to learn with art is things will take time. This is something I didn't want to accept for a very long time. You know what? I want a couple of strands that just sort of dangle off here. He does have like little split ends as well, but I don't really know how to get that in Engine, like when I'm in Unreal Engine. Yeah. I was thinking of that. Weirdly enough, you probably just said that as I was talking about. What's like overlapping here? Do I want this part to be the main one or not? I feel like I do. Be like this. Maybe not. I don't want this one to be sticking up as much. I want this one to be underneath. Like that. Now he's got a bald spot here, I believe. Yeah, but that's fine. Is that fine? Actually, let's just lift this up a tad to help fill that gap. I could just make this part thicker. We are going to make the head, obviously, fit with fit the color of the head. Like the top of his head will be the color of his hair, so any part you don't actually see, it will be fine. Thoughts on the fly. Wait, my problem with working alone is that sometimes I get stuck doing something I want, etc. 5 hours thinking about it, while if I had someone else pronto next to me whom I can exchange. I think for me, because I do so many jobs at the moment, whenever I get stuck on something, most of the time it's for motivational reasons. It's quite rare I just can't do something, because even if I find a cheap way to do it, I will find a way to do something. That's probably one of my strongest qualities, is that I will always find a way to do something. Even if it kind of looks shoddy in the end run, it will work, right? But one benefit of doing what I do, where I'm a particle, I do the particles, I do the shaders, I do materials, I do the lighting, I work on 2 projects at the moment. I don't want to talk about them too much because I can't, but I'm working on 2 projects at the same time, both vastly different art styles. And when I get stuck on something, I can just swap over and do something else. You know, if I'm set a task, that task needs to be done, but not pronto. I can go work on something else if I get stuck. My downside is that I'm perfectionist. It was supposed to work earlier. That's one of the biggest things I feel like you need to get out of your system. And it sounds horrible. It sounds so horrible telling people that. Oh, don't make your art perfect. Don't care about your art. It's not what I'm trying to say. Like I was saying earlier, it's just about... It's what I saw someone say years ago, and it stuck with me a lot. It was a YouTuber, and he said, I'm not a perfectionist, I'm a completionist. He went, I focus more on getting something done than I do on making it perfect. Because at the end of the day, if it's not done, it doesn't matter. Because it doesn't. If it's not finished, it doesn't matter how perfect it is. If it's only 70% complete, it's not done. And that's where I hold a lot of my motivations, where I hold a lot of what I do, is I focus on completion rather than perfection. Thoughts on the fly with it takes me 1 hour to solve the same problem. Oh, sorry. I didn't read your whole sentence. Right, that was part of the same sentence. Someone else pronto is next to me who I can exchange thoughts on the fly with. It takes me 1 hour to solve the same problem. Yeah. Truthborn, take notes, boy. It's... I've said it a million times, right? I'm not a good artist. And I know a lot of people say to me, oh, Steve, you made all this, right? And you know, you saw a concept art and you were able to put something together that looks like it. But I didn't actually take any artistic talent to do so, right? I took techniques and methodologies that I implement in a way to make up for my lack of artistic talent, right? And I think a big part of being good at anything is finding the parts you're better at and basically, I kind of went off topic here, but basically getting those parts of what you're actually good at sharpened, like get them really, really good, because those are the parts people are going to recognize. I'm good at solving issues. I should have probably been a programmer. I'm good at following directions. I'm good at repeating a method or a technique over and over again to get the results I'm looking for. If you sat here and said to me, Steve, make I don't know, stylized, was there a tankard? I have a tankard in the scene. I will tell you, and they say draw it. I say I can't draw. I can't draw. It's something I've tried to be good at, but I'm so slow and so bad at it. I don't see the point investing my time in it. So the first step I'd do is I'd probably maybe write a real life thinker. Then I'll see if I like something. Oh, that looks cool. That's neat. It's a drawing anyway. That's cool. And if I can't find quite what I'm looking for, I'll then see if someone else has made something similar. That's pretty neat. That's cool. And I'll say what I like about some of them, what I don't like. Oh, I like the leather strap, but I think the handle's too big. And then I'll go, oh, I like that handle. I like the way that the metal comes onto it, so I can have the leather strap in the middle, and then I can make and then I'll say, oh, maybe I don't like the cup. So then I'll go find another one and go, I don't like any of these cups. Oh, that looks really similar to mine. That must be the one I was using. But I said, oh, I like the cup on that. And then I'll use that, right? And then when we get to an endpoint, I will start throwing those pieces together. And we'll get a cup that looks like this. Now, I didn't need it hugely detailed because it's a small asset in the scene. But you know what I mean? Like, I get the result I'm looking for. So I don't actually use any artistic talent to get to that point. I take pieces away from other things like concepts and real life imagery, and then I implement that in what I want to do. And to get there, I use techniques and methodology. Anyways, let's move on from talking about myself being crap at art. I know we're not all here to hear me waffle on about stuff like that. Still art nonetheless. Exactly. And I don't disagree with that. I do think that what I produce is still art. And I do think in a lot of cases it does come out pretty nice. But it's the fact that I will see someone who I would consider an amazing artist and they'll sit down and go, I want to draw a unicorn with boots on. And in 30 minutes time, they have a drawing of a unicorn with boots on. And I'm just like, how did you, one, mentally come up with that image and then take that image and put that onto a piece of paper? That's so amazing to me. And I think that makes someone a true artist. And I know there's plenty of stories where one of the most critically acclaimed artists can't do that. That's fine. Look, you see, if we accept even the part of you that likes to flex on us. I ain't flexing. You guys could do everything I could do. You just need the time to learn it. That's why I tell you guys, if you ever need to know anything, just ask me. I might be able to just get you to a point that you're like, oh, awesome, because a lot of what I'm good at is just learning stuff. So if I could teach you guys how to do it, that'd be brilliant. If you guys ever learn something from me, and you go, this looks cool, feel free to share it. I would love to see how some of you progress, and some of you can show off your art to me, and I could say, damn, you guys are so good, I suck. You did this in an hour? This took me 27 years. Let's have this one like flip. Oof, sure, not like that. So this will come in and then flick out. There you go, like that. Now we need it so it doesn't clip with the hair, but there you go. I could pull this, but I could technically do another one. Pull this one back and pull this one and make this one thicker. Ooh. And try to make it so it works. Get more like that. Pull this one down. Pull this one down. Pull this one up. I like how this before. I need to get better at Substance Painter. What are you trying to learn to do? I can show you right now. If it's stylized, I can show you right now how I do my stylized work. I want it to come here, come up, come in. So we've got a big gap here now, which is fine because I can have a hair come underneath this and come over here. Don't know if we're going to get this completed today. We're just going to keep going until we get to a point that we like. That's one of the biggest benefits. Like, sure, I don't have as much time as I used to do 3D. But the fact that... Oh, maybe I should have done that. Let's get back one of those. There you go. The fact that I have a job means I don't have to worry too much about getting all the stuff I do on stream finished. I can just chill. I can chat with you guys. I can procrastinate. You know how awesome it is that I know I can procrastinate? That's great. That's so nice. So I pull this actually to like here and then pull it down and then make this one a little bit thicker. There you go. Pull it over. I pull this one out as well. Pull this back underneath you. I kind of want it to do something a little different. Maybe only have it come to here. What was it? Oh, it looks like it's scaling weird, but it's just because it's there. Yeah, maybe have this one a bit shorter like that. There you go, just to fill that little hole. I read what you wrote in just a second. Delete this. Grab that one. Oh, wrong one. Grab. Nope. Grab that one. You got to grab it from here, not here. Get a much thinner hair. Perfect. Select mesh. Apply stylized auto material. But I made those smart materials. I found that I couldn't open Substance unless I opened a previous project. What? That shocked me so much I hiccuped. I'm not sure anything would help. Well, like when I go into Substance, and like if you go to my channel, I've got a couple of videos on there. But let's say I wanted to make like a singular plank, right? So we'd grab the plank. Oh, I was gonna go to ZBrush after this, but my ZBrush might have. The subscription may have ended. Every month I have to apply my subscription. Oh no, it's fine this time. Nice. Cool. So we wanted a plank, right? I do sound like this. And then because I'm going into ZBrush, I like making it so... I actually saw someone else do this. So it's not like I just do. Which makes me a little bit happier. Then I'll export this. So I'm obviously... Oh, we could do a bevel as well, actually. Just give it enough information. Do I want a bevel here? No, not a bevel here, actually. FBX, go to my desktop, just call it singular plank, right? So, what I do a lot in ZBrush is I bake a lot of information. So, if I want to get that information now, I'd go to my ZBrush. Hopefully my pen's charged up. Let's get my glove. Like a glove. Oh, that's also cleaning flannel? Flannel. Flannel, not towel. So good tools, import, go to my desktop, we just call it singular plank. Yep. Drag it in. Oh. I was looking at it for a really weird angle. Now, first thing I recommend is don't use the default. I love using the default, but it's really misleading. And I'll show you why in a minute. So obviously this is the ZBrush way to do in the texture. I can also show you the normal way. So I tend to make it in a couple of millions, just so I have as much freedom as I want. And I won't dynamesh it. The reason for that is because it means I don't have to redo the low poly and stuff. Sometimes I will, but it's really dependent on what I'm doing. If I don't need to, I won't. Let's go into like this. And again, I tend to follow technique. So technique I do for this is one, I turn on... Toes? No, stroke. Lazy mouse, turn on. So I can do this. It's got spacing on it, which is the step, I think. I think that's better. And press on, then press on here. Basically, just go up and down in here. Like a chunky effect, like this. Now you can also dig into it too by doing doing Alt and digging in, but I won't do it right now because it's a bit more complicated. Do this. That. I don't need to do it for the side. I then go trim, and then I start flattening areas out. When you see like bits like this, I can then grab this here, flatten these parts out like this, like that. It's going to do that to get rid of that piece. I can't want to fix it any other way right now. Cool. Probably make that flat. You can do a bunch of different things. Like you can make it so we have like a cut coming in here and whatever. I won't do that right now. We want it to be relatively flat. Explain your writing a chat. No, I don't need any of this information, but I thought I'd show you anyway. I use my old friends, I need free scriptures. Nice. I would tell you about a free subscription right now, but I am streaming. So I don't want to. I feel like I'll be told off. I feel like I'd get like a message from like YouTube, like, "Oh, you should have said that." I'm not very paranoid. I'm a little paranoid on certain things. I'm a very unlucky person. So I feel like any chance I give that something negative could go for me, it just increases the chance of it happening exponentially. Right, so we do something like this. And that's pretty good looking wood. Nothing too fancy. But watch, if I go to the other material, right, watch this. Look how much more freaking in-depth all of this looks, right? It never comes out that way when you bake it. When you bake it, it looks a lot more like that. So now I want to get my... crack 2? These are free brushes. They're called the old brushes. It's in the description. Let's just do this. Let's turn this down. There you go. And then this is just adding a little bit extra detail to it. So you don't necessarily need to do this part. But if you just want your wood to look a little bit more wood-like, basically where you've created these crevices by doing exactly what I just showed you, you just go up and down with a... What was it called? The clay tube brush. Go up and down, 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 up, up. Just one smooth stroke. Then you flatten it with trim dynamic. And then afterwards you have these crevices you've made. Doing that like here. Then you can add a little bit more into that crevice. Just to make it a bit more extra detail. Like here I can make it a bit smaller. Smaller. Actually, that's stronger. That's smaller. There you go. This, and then you can do something like sort of this at the top, so go, oh, Jesus, so soft, hard, soft, like that. Just add bits. You could come here, you could be like, oh, I want to have a little loop in it, you know, make that probably a bit thicker. Ooh. It is stylized, so I'm bad at this, but never worry about, or try not to worry about making things a little too over the top. Because it's stylized, you know, I'm doing stylized when I want it to be over the top. I have a very bad habit of not making it over the top enough. Yeah, we're just making just sort of this wood grain effect. And it's what I mean when I say I follow methods and methodologies. I have done this so many times. I just follow. That was Steve reads only half the message. Oh, whoops. Wait, what did I miss? Oh, did you reply? I found that I couldn't open... Okay. I just used my old student ID. You got Discord? Oh, whoops. I didn't read that part. You're correct. It's like my best quality, right? So you could do something like that, right? And we've got like a... Yeah, kind of a plate. This isn't very nice here. So I could go back over this, get some a bit more flattening on the edges. Or even pull that through by holding Alt with your trim dynamic and just filling that gap in. Like this, and then flattening it again. Yeah, it's just whatever you think looks good. So I didn't think that looked good, so I got rid of it. Like here, I don't think that looks good. That looks fine, but I want to make it a little bit more filled in. I can make this part a bit more dented like that. And just going around it and making it... Just doing what you think looks good. Orb slash. Bam. This slash. Maybe it is the first one I'm looking for, something like this. And get some extra detailing. Just like this. And I'm going to show you how to get this all in substance working as well. Cool, so something like that, right? I might have to get ZBrush. You bake it afterwards, right? I do bake it afterwards. ZBrush is so powerful. ZBrush is brilliant. Right, so now we go File, Export. Let's make a folder on here. Just call it Random Stream. Like, cool. There we go. Underscore blank. Underscore HP for high poly. So this is how I do my texturing essentially, right? And you'll see what I mean by that when I get into ZBrush. Where did I just put that? Stream plank. Save. Into here. So that shouldn't take too long to save. It's 3 million. I don't think 3 million should take a long time. You can always decimate it and then export it now. What I should have done, which I now have to wait, is what I tend to do is I'll re-export out the low poly, and I'll show you why that is in a minute. While that's doing that, we'll go back onto this little guy's called Ham, by the way. H-A-M, Ham. I assume it probably stands for Hamilton or something. But that's what my friend said his name was, so. And he's the one who drew him, so. Cool, that folds in quite well there. Want bits coming through here now. I want to do this quickly to show you, so. Because, what I'm about to show you is like magic, in my opinion. I was about to tell about the decimal tool. Decimate? Decimate? Is it decibel tool? Have I been saying it wrong this whole time? You export one low poly, one high poly, and you bake it into the normal map as much as possible. It's not just the normal map, because what you are right, but it's the fact that it also generates a curvature and an ambient occlusion map, and then you take those informations and then you make the texture pick apart those parts. Oh, it is called decimation. Okay, I thought I'd got it wrong then. Yeah, I agree with Andrea there. ZBrush is a bit clunky. You can get a lot of stuff done in Blender, and I think that's actually something I will really stand by, because I had somebody work for my company, and this person felt the need to do everything in ZBrush. When, again, this might be the balance of what I said between perfection and completionist, but this person would take quadruple the amount of time it would take if you just made it in Blender. You know, it didn't need to have all that extra detail in it. It could have just done it in Blender. Blender Mold tries. Blender what? Is really good at making small props. You can mostly get away without doing the root bob. Yeah, I agree with that. You can export one low poly, one high, and wait. Oh yeah, I already read that. Sorry, I'm not used to such a interactive chat today. You guys have been brilliant. I love every minute of this. This is what I want to see on my streams. I know a lot of people probably want to see quiet streams so they don't get distracted. I want to see people talk, and I want you guys to distract me. I want to have a conversation and tell you guys you suck. No, tell you guys that how much I enjoy what I do. I don't get to talk to a lot of people about what I'm passionate about, what I like doing. So when I get people on my YouTube talk about it, it's really nice. At the end of the day, any of us who becomes a 3D artist, it's a very unique thing. And it's sometimes hard to find people who enjoy talking about the subject. I enjoy talking about almost anything. Your job could be shoveling like manure all day, and I would find that interesting. I find everything interesting. Brilliant content brings billion viewers. Jesus. I hope so. That'd be cool. I mean, I'm doing characters now, at least one. And I know characters get more viewership. Sounds like I'm bitter. Damn character artists. Okay, that should be done now, right? File export, cool. Yeah, so what I like doing as well is I like re-exporting out the low poly, right? The reason I like doing this, and I'll show you. And in this case, I really need to do it, but you'll see why as well. So let's, I like to usually hide this. File, import, FBX, desktop. I called it. Yeah, I know, I've got a very messy desktop. Stream plank, low poly. So look at the geometry difference already, right? So we bring back the old one. Look how different that is. Now this would still probably bake the high poly, but the reason I like taking the low poly back in is because it does have a lot of changes. You know what I mean? So then I like to unwrap this side of it, and unwrapping is really easy. Unwrapping is something that you just get used to with time. I do want to make a small series where I show you how to unwrap cylindrical based objects, spherical based objects, and cuboid based objects, because it's a very simple technique I do with all three of them when doing something that's cuboid like. So not always a rectangle or a cube, but what I do is make it so you wrap it around one point in the center, so like it's doing here. Is this how you do it? I'm just making sure now. Let's see what it looks like. Mark scene. I don't want to say this about yeah, okay. Yeah, I make it so especially if it's a long one, is so actually weirdly enough, this is more like unwrapping something cylindrical, right? Because when I unwrap something cylindrical, you select your caps, as they call them. You select one edge, you mark, and if you want your caps connected, you can just have one edge connected. I usually don't care. And then you unwrap that, and you'll get a result like this. Perfect, right? That's better. So if you've scaled something in object mode in Blender, make sure to Control A and do scale. I usually just do all transforms because it's easier, but... So I'm doing that similar to this. If I was actually doing something that was cuboid-like, like this, so it would end up with a result like this, which is basically... You come from the top, you say... Because you want the person experiencing this mesh to look at it and not see any seams. So you're going to look at it from the top, right? I know I'm over explaining this, but I'm just sort of helping anyone who can't UV map. So you want there to be as few seams from the angle as possible. So what I usually do is I say I want this to connect to each side. I want this to be a smooth transition between the texture here, 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 and here. So I don't make any of those sides. I don't make any of those sides. What's it called in Blender? Mark seam. I don't mark any of those seams. I don't want any seams there. Then I come to the bottom. I select 3 sides like this. So that way, it's basically how a paper cube would have folded together, right? So now this will come over here and it unfold. And then I can't have any of these connected like this. So that way it comes down from the top like that, and then it comes down here. So if I were to disconnect that, I don't know if I'd be able to. But if you would disconnect it, it would then make a shape that looks like this. So that would fold over, right? And now the top face has the least seams it can have. Sure, you got seams on the edges, but you got to kind of compensate. And then cylinders done like this, which is similar to how I'm doing the rectangle here. I'm doing it a very similar way to how I would do a cylinder. I'm taking one marked edge on the edge, so that way it sort of unwraps like that, flat. And then I'm keeping 1 or 2 edges here connected, so that way we have the result we see over here like this. And that's a pretty nice unwrap. I feel like a lot of what I just said wouldn't make any sense to a lot of people, but I hope that helped somebody, or could help somebody who watches the video. Stream playing, we want to make that the low poly, because some wraps now come into substance. I like the FBX export you find on the plugins better, ZBrush. I think I used to use that, but then they added, because that used to be the only way you could do it, and then recently they've added it so you can just export as FBX. So I think I just swapped over because it was more convenient. Then when it comes to real actual complex mesh to unwrap, it's like draw a circle, draw. Yeah. When it comes to like a complex mesh, you basically draw the rest of the effing out. Well, when it comes to a complex mesh, you kind of break it down into those 3 components: a cuboid, a cylindrical based unwrap, or a spherical based unwrap. And then you look at the parts of that complex shape and you mark it out into those separate components. At least that's how I do it, and I like to think I get a pretty decent unwrap. Oh, I'm so stuffy. I've had like a stuffy like sinuses. I think it's my sinuses for like 2 months now, and the doctor doesn't really. They said they don't really. They just said to take medicine. I've been taking mucus relief. And I've also been like doing a steam thing for my face, or I guess my sinuses. I get like a bowl, put really hot water in it, and I put some vapor rub. Vapor rub? Is that his name? That's not his name. But you know, stuff that you sniff it in, it's good for your sinuses. I put that in the water with steam, and then I put a towel over my head, and then I like breathe it all in, and it kind of works. Let's import this now. So this is a really important stage. Cocaine, exactly. Why do you think I'm so energetic? I'm losing it. Oh, I called it stream, didn't I? Stream thingy, not plank. Because I actually made planks for my work recently, so I didn't want to get it messed up. So you get your planks in, and who was it? Oh. Something I always do when you export something from Blender and you only want to do what you got selected, go FBX and then go selected object and then export. Don't be silly like me. I always forget to do that. I wish it was on by default. There's probably a way to go into the some of the source files and change that, or maybe your preferences. Don't do that unless you know that bolt is dead cleaned. Yeah, I mean I cleaned it out before using it. We'll just a tad bit of bacteria will make you more stuffy. Oh, that's a good point. I mean, I cleaned it out with like detergent and stuff before using it. But you're right, I never thought of that. All right, so after getting this part, was it Game Side Central who said about texturing? Because this is the part I was trying to get to. We go bake. We select. I'm gonna select 2K. I tend to select. Yeah, that's good. Just make sure you wash it with antibacterial soap. I think it's antibacterial soap. It's like the 99.9% kills bacteria. I'll do the Indian string nose cleaning thing. I don't want to. That sounds dreadful. Yeah, so I tend to do, I bake at a value 1, maybe sometimes 2 above what I want, because you'll get a better result, even though you may only keep it at 1K. Because the information is being drawn from 2K curvature maps and stuff, you'll usually get more value out of it anyway. So we'll go 2K. If you watch, it will start baking all that information. Hopefully it works. If it doesn't work, I've done something wrong. You know, I'm not really someone who likes watching stuff like that. Like, I'm pretty good at it. It's like spicy food. I don't like spicy food, but I can handle spicy food. And there we go. Look at that plank, right? So that looks pretty much like how we had it in ZBrush, even though it's low poly, right? If I were literally to get rid of the normal maps, look. Whoa. So we've got that information now. So what can we do with that information to texture our asset? Well, if I throw on a material that I've already made, you'll see the end result instantly. So if I go stylized wood, you'll get, this isn't a very good wood. This one, this one, this one. Oh, that's terrible. We could do metal. I don't like the wood color, even though I've been using that wood color for ages now. Anyways, yeah, so we'll try to get kind of an end result. So what is this doing, right? Is that the string through the nose? What, you go through your nose and you like grab it at the back, you go, whoa. That'd be weird. Anyways, so what this is doing, so if I create a folder, actually we don't need to because we've only got one mesh, but usually you isolate it to a folder. So first off, we want to create our wood color, and I suck at finding a good wood color. Oh, I think that's actually alright. We'll keep it at that. Now, this is where the magic comes in. So you make a new layer, you go black mask, you add generator. There's a couple ways you can do this. Adding generator works, and then you can tell it to pick up the curvature, right? And then do we want it inverted? That's good. We could sharpen it a little bit. We could blur it a tiny bit. Do something like this. Now you set the change color up. Set it to an overlay. Turn off all of this jargon, and we have it picking up. Why is it so sharp there? Oh, so if you get this, it's not baked at a high enough value. Let's go 0.025, 0.025, rebake. It's basically not dug in enough in the cage to pick up that information. So hopefully they get a bit better. Cool, that's looking pretty good. And then we do another layer. Same thing, except we do add generator and we go ambient occlusion. You always invert X. The ambient occlusion always incorrect for some reason. Set it to a multiply. Actually, no, we'll set it to a normal for now just so I can see it. Turn off everything but color. Cool. We contrast this. We can blur it a tiny bit. I tend to go to about 0.3. And then you can fill in those gaps. You see that? So you can fill in those gaps. And what we're going to do when it fills in the gaps, we're going to go multiply. And boom. We've now darkened those gaps. And then you can obviously change this, make it a bit softer. And you can turn this up and down depending on how much you want it to feel. So what I end up doing usually is I then will do a duplicate, for example. I then will make this one fade out, like be blurred a little bit more, less contrast, and come out a bit more. So you get like 2 layers of ambient occlusion. That looks great. Exactly, right? And this is only the first stage to it, right? So after this, you go, okay, that looks like a bit of wood. You can, in Stylize, I like to use the position filter generation to give it a gradient. I was going to that next. So one thing also is you don't have to make it multiplied by just a grey colour, right? But for whatever reason, my substance always says no, not for that. That's very strange. Have you updated your graphics cards? Graphics cards? Yeah, multiple graphics cards. Yeah, so I like to change it to... What I tend to do is, if we've got like it here on the scale, what I like to do is I like to multiply it by... So if it's for example, here, I go a little bit down to here. If it's here, I'll go to the red like it was on. I'll turn this down and it will make those areas a little bit red tinted. We can adjust it a little bit to make it not as strong. And it just helps giving it a bit of extra color. Same with this one. We could make this one a little bit yellow tinted. So same thing, if we're here, I go up a little bit. Or in the yellow, I'd say. Or in the yellow. Here you go. And it gives it a little bit of that yellow tint. See that? Cool. Now what we're going to do. Try wiping the old substance files and reinstalling. I wonder why it's not working then. So now we can do manual gradients, not positional yet. Positional I might not even use for this one. So manual gradients, what I'll do is I'll just go like this. Actually, no, we'll do the opposite. We'll go like this, 150 maybe. Just a big click in the middle, click in the middle, click in the middle. So it's spread across there like that. We'll do a nice blur on that. If it works, sometimes the blur gets a little bit janky, but okay. Nice blur. And then we can invert this. No. So it depends where we want this. You can have the edges go dark here. And the middle go light. So you can do two ways. You can make the middle brighter like this. Set it to an overlay. Go to something like this. And obviously you adjust it to get a better result. Turn off all your other things here. So that way you get slight dark edges. Or I can invert that mask. So right click the mask. Invert, it'll go to the edges now, we'll turn it up a little bit, set it to a multiply, and the edges can get darker. And again, you can go into the red a little bit to change that effect. I kind of want the overall light to be a little bit brighter here. Maybe a bit more orange like that. We've got a singular plank right now. And then lastly, as Andrea said, do I want to do anything else here? I don't necessarily need to. Last thing we can do is black mask, add generator, positional. I again want to disable everything but color. And then what you can do is, this works really well on objects you know are going to be placed with one side at the bottom and one side at the top. For example, our cup, our tankard, will always be that part at the bottom, that part at the top. So I could do it there. However, if we look at something like our crates or our barrels, which I actually made a mistake on the barrels, so you can actually see this mistake on the barrels. If I flip the barrel upside down, wow, it's so bright out here. I can't see. If you flip the barrel upside down, the top is darker because I forgot that I might want to flip the barrel upside down. So it works if you're intending to make if you're intending to keep one part of it down, right? It's darker at the bottom. So if you go back into substance, we contrast this, and we invert it. Contrast it a little bit more when it's relatively tight like this. I can set that to a multiply. And then I can do again, again make it a little bit red. And then we get, I wish your video on substance paint out. Oh. So I'm just explaining. If anyone watches the stream now, that at least be explained. Yeah, I think that's how I got here. Oh, okay. I need for meshes intended to be put. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if they intended to be put in a specific way, this doesn't work. But yeah, and that's how you make a very simple stylized thing. Did it take us too long? I don't think. No, it didn't take us too long. And we have a stylized plank. I'd probably now go in here and do a little bit of extra changing. And I want to make like this set. I do still want the center to be a bit brighter, so I'll do like an overlay like I showed earlier. Go to the yellow. Go to turn off metallic, graph thingy. Tone this down. We get a nice little brightness to the middle. And yeah. And you throw that into wherever your project you're making, you've got a decent looking bank. Anyways, back to what we're supposed to be doing. I'm not getting distracted. You guys are getting distracted. We do something like this, we have more hair sticking out of there. kind of want this part to be a bit thinner here and then thinner here. A little bit, don't come over too much here and do a little bit thinner here. How long are you going to stream? 2.5 hours, so an extra 50 minutes. Or did you mean like until I stop, until I quit? So hopefully a couple more years, I'd say. I got green tea, I forgot. Ah, my sinuses. Ah, a bit of phlegm's come up. I know that sounds disgusting. I shouldn't be talking about this. I haven't been able to get phlegm to come up at all. So having any come up is very exciting. I swear, last like year of streaming, I've just been ill, non-stop, in some way, shape, or form. It's horrible. Nobody likes being ill. I don't think so, actually. There might be some people. How long are you? Cool. Got to go for a couple of minutes. Just check and see you later. Bye, chat. I was sick 2 days ago. Oh. And now you're good, or? This is a bit chunky here. I shouldn't, because we're selecting probably this fat one. If we let this thin one, I might get a better looking result. Yes, it's better. Let's make this a bit thicker here. So I was watching the guy early. I watched someone do this, and he had like loads of different. How do I add thumb? How do I add thumb? Let's. You know what? What we'll do is we'll just make a circle. So I'd like to try some of his hairstyles. So I think he had one that was sort of like. Now that's. I don't get why. Like, it's so weird how it shapes that, right? Oh, it's scaling on individual, that's why. You had one like this shape? I'm curious to what that looks like. If we grab this, make it a bit bigger, and then we do this, what does that look like? If I were to move that around. Okay. Oh, that looks better at going up, I think. Something like this looks pretty good. Okay. I'm good since I learned how to effectively blow my nose. I could do a really good fake sneeze. Hopefully I don't hit off my headset. 1 second. So, I don't know if I can do it anymore, and I don't know how well my mic's going to pick it up, East, but... No, that wasn't that good, actually. It was... I used to do better than that. I just blow everything out my nose and mouth at the same time. What the F? Have you never been able to do that? I can simulate a lot of functions. I used to do voice acting as well, like one man, one mission, one desire. Like, just I could do a lot of things with my voice and stuff. I'll wait for you to react to that now. We've got a lot of hair going on here, so I still need a shock face. So I still need like this coming down here. See, I'm now worried that I haven't made this come down here, because now he's just got really small bangs. And I think it's partly the problem is I've made it come from here, when in reality, What I should have done... Ooh. What I should have done was make it come from here, which is why I don't think it's working so well. If we pull this out, tilt it a little bit. So I just need something that goes around here, I think, is what I need to accomplish. Yeah, I like doing voices and stuff. My substance pair still isn't working, just reinstalled. I don't know. I don't know what could be causing that. Get rid of that one quickly, or for now. That definitely needs to go more like this towards his head, so this part gets a bit flat. That does not need to do that. It does. It can overlap the eyebrow. That's fine. Yeah, that definitely needs to come down here at the very least. See, that still looks wrong. Guess I made it too chunky towards the bottom. I used to do lots of other voices, by the way. It was actually hard to do a bit of voice acting, which was very, very fun. I'd love to be a voice actor, but I definitely don't have the connections or anything for it. Or the talent. I don't want any voice actors to be like, what? It says it's only because of connections. No. You need to be very talented too. Oh, this I think needs to get tucked in a bit more. Like that. Yeah, fake sneezing, man. And coughing's easy, just like what other things can you do? You can snore, which is just you can't even hear me. It's really hard to do to make it pick it up. See, that's very thick. Do we go back to this one again? I think that makes it too thin, though. I mean, if it makes it too thin, I could always do it in between of the two. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I'm just looking at that one and cross-referencing it. Cross-referencing it. Jesus. I think we need this part to tilt more like that so we get more of a feel over here. And I can pull this over a tad like that. And here we just want it to come down. And which way does that flare off? Here it goes like here. This looks like it comes from his like hair, like it comes from here. But then I don't want like this part to stay empty, so I kind of just think. I mean, like I said, technically, what I should do. Do like a little curve underneath the hair. just goes around here. Facing like this. Just like that. Well, it comes out here. That's cool. That's actually what works out pretty well. There you go. So now we got that part. Essentially, that's the here. It can bend out a little bit more if we want it to, like that. Oh, don't want to clip through the hair though. Nice. Very good, very good. Oh. Oh, whoa. Ooh, a little bit of head rush from that stretch. Is that a bad sign of circulation if I get head rush from a big stretch? Well, that's supposed to be a normal thing. Am I normal for that being a thing? So, well, first off, I don't want this to clip through his hair. Secondly, I want this now to pull in. So over here. Cool. I just want it to like come behind this or something. I'll probably be a bit chunkier over here. I could come back to this in 5 minutes and go, oh, actually, I want this. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter too much on these little changes because I'm probably going to not worry too much about them. So have those clip in, I guess, like that. There you go. Like either have a clip in or have this one sitting on top, like this. And this one's sitting more underneath, like that. Then I think this is coming too far over here. We'll leave it for now. That's coming down to where I want it to. That's good, and it's starting from a more similar point to where, oh my god, adding that apparently screwed up everything, so I won't do that. I'll just lift this part up. There you go, right here. I feel like I don't need one of these in between ones. Am I mad? Facing the wrong way now after I did that though. Suppose like there's a little there's too many curves. That's fine. It's hitting the eyebrow. It's because the eyebrows in the concept are lower down, so we're not worrying about them. But I don't want it to be... My friend who's rigging it told me to not have them that low. He wanted them to be higher. So I'm basically just following what he said. Because at the end of the day, he's the rigger. He's the one that's going to know the best how to rig it. And that's basically, as an artist, as the 3D artist of the character, I want what's going to be easiest for my rigger, because I want the process to be as efficient as possible. So his nose needs to change at some point, but I ain't got around to making it high poly yet. Because as you can see, look, it's like this right now. So I need to change that shaping layer. I don't need to retopologize it. I want to test like actually if I let me save. If I apply the subdivide, how's the mouth? See, I don't know if that's a good. I don't think that's good topology. Same here. Because usually the way the topology works, it's not too bad for the eye because it does go around in a circle. I think basically you just need this part to come down a little bit. And just go into a circle down here like that. What if I play this now? Not really. We'll keep it the way it is. The rigger might say that's perfectly fine. I don't think it's going to be, but we can change it later. So we've got all this hair coming from the back now. I guess I just need big ones now. I mean, I got this. Because it's all just coming down. It's not too unique, but I think that's gonna have to just be how it looks, right? Because then I basically just need a thick boy over here. What? The top of it looks so weird. Oh my god, it's really twisty, that's why. I want it to be straight. You know what? Let's just grab a fresh one. Get over here. I can't believe I've been waking up at like really late. I woke up at 1 today, and I'm exhausted. It's not. I've only been up for like 9 hours. What is wrong with me? So this isn't usually the one I want anyway. The one I want is this one. Okay. Oh, well, it is correct. This should be flipped. There you go. All right. Let's drag this behind. Where did I want this? Behind here. So I still don't think that's low enough to make our hairs. Is it? Because we can have this is where we can have our hairs do this at the bottom. But if we have those hairs, I need to make this really thick. I kind of want to get rid of that one. But if this means we can have loads of hairs like that at the bottom, is that fine? Because yeah, I need to basically build up all of this hair that you see coming from the bottom. Which I kind of just want to make it really thick, but then that won't look right. Maybe I'm still trying to get my substance to work. So it just says it's not working. It just like crashes. I can't think of what could be causing that. Like, it just is not working, like, not responding. You don't get any error message. I mean, I assume you don't, otherwise you'd say, but just in case. Yeah, it's been happening for 2 years now. Maybe there's something your computer side causing it. No error message. I assume you've typed it in and tried to troubleshoot it. Have we got a thinner version of one of these? Let me grab this. Make it even thinner. Not you. I do that every time. There you go. Having a tiny bit thinner helps fill out these areas without hitting the other ones. Maybe I'll do this around the back and then I'll do another one in here that fills out the rest of it. Last visited this page. Jesus. You're not installing an old substance, are you? Like, I know you said you reinstalled it, but did you get the updated substance? Or did you try and install an old one you already had on your computer? I hate that it breaks when I do that. My phone. Where is my phone? Wait for the website. I don't know then. I have no idea what could be causing that, to be honest. Check if I've got any. Oh my god, where's my phone? Am I not connected to the internet? My room has terrible Wi-Fi service. The cat service. There you go. So obviously I don't want these to share the exact same direction. I want them to look a little bit unique as they come down. Otherwise it's going to look a little bit repetitive. So we'll try to get like a little bit of movement. A little bit of sort of changing in the way it comes down. But essentially I just want like 1, 2, 3, 4 probably of those. And then I'm going to want to do in between ones. And we'll see how that looks. If it looks a little too samey, we'll obviously have to mix it up. But mix it up. I'd like to think I'm a guy who mixes it up a lot. I don't. I feel like I'm super standard. I do what I like, and then I repeatedly do that. Although, I do take a chance on new things. So I'll do this, there you go. That'll help make it a bit different. Because if you look at that, it does come up to one point, but I basically need this to look like a solid by the end. Because it needs to be a thick hair coming down. I'm going to restart my computer real quick. Be right back. Okay. I probably read that when you'd already left, but okay. I probably just said that to myself, but okay. Down, plus over. Ooh, that's too close. Still want somewhat of a gap so I can fit another piece of hair in. No, I'm still here. Oh, okay. Well, I was just guessing. So do I need one more? I don't know. We'll see. So now I basically want an in-between one. Delete these two top ones. Okay. Would you say we're silent in the N? I think it's an N. So that Gizro TV. Okay, okay. You getting familiar? I like that. I like that. I like. If you're a part of the Discord, you know, always show some work in progress. Well, you don't have to always, but you know, we're always free to see some work in progress. So it won't be solid here, but I think that'll be fine. Because we're not doing hair that looks like this. He's got like singular lines. Our hair isn't going to be that detailed. The thing is, have we done a bit too much in the back? I don't think we have. My only issue is how samey it looks in places. Like, I feel like I've got too much to come to like the same level and stuff. We haven't got enough like flicking out like this. Just changing it up a tad. Maybe having this one come out as well. We'll have one sticking up over here. Nah, don't like that. Now we've got this guy here that I can see sticking out, which is bad. We'll pull him in. There you go. Pull him out over here. Yeah, it's looking a little bit more chaotic, which is what we're looking for. Again, we're not looking for perfection. We got it to work. Yo, nice. Now I expect to see some really... Like, you can go back in the stream, rewatch exactly how I did that, and recreate that exact wood. That's your homework. You know, weirdly enough, I did want to be a teacher for a while. I don't know. I like teaching people. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to land it. Someone else got the work over me. But that would have been cool. I'd have actually I think I would have actually enjoyed being a teacher, despite as a kid saying I never wanted to be a teacher. I think that'd be cool. I like watching people progress. I like seeing people's work. So we've got these very separated now, right? Do we want them to be like almost like pretty much touching? So intercepting with each other here. They possibly even here. Like that. We have this come over to the left a little bit and pull up here. See, now I don't think we quite want that. I think we want this. I'm back. Hey, how's it going? I saw you wrote a bunch more, so let me read that. I turned off my vertical monitor and I was working like a charm. Joined the Discord and posted a picture of my progress. Let's see. It's going to be amazing now, and I'm going to be depressed that you're way better than me. Work in progress. What the? Look at that guy at the top. Okay. I feel you. Started messing around with alphas to get more detail in the environment. This is just me messing around. He said messing around twice. But hopefully you can make more precise work tomorrow. Oh, I forgot I was reworking my water shader. I should probably go do that again. Let's wave to both of you. Boom. Boom. I'm almost always trying to stay around to actually talk to you guys. Like I said, I do work full time. But if you just want to chat and you want to ask me any questions in Discord, go for it. That's kind of the point of a fan server, right? Is you guys can go in there and go, Steve, what's your favorite candy bar? And I'm like, I don't like candy. No, who doesn't like candy? God, what is my favorite candy bar? Probably a Boost bar. I do like Boost. I don't really eat candy very often. I know I'm kind of just talking to myself now, but like I ask myself the question and reply to myself. Hey Steve, any chance where you can get pick of the Chara you're working on? Chara? Oh, the character? Chara. Well, you want a picture of this? In the chat? My main reason to work in the UK, jelly babies. I don't even like jelly babies. Jelly babies. You know what though? What do we like? Yeah, these are jelly babies. What's say? Like the powdered ones. I don't like them very much. UK sweets. I mean the reference you're using. Sure, yeah, I could put that in there. Why are you gonna remake it better than me? How dare you? A friend, we love them. Yeah, let's see how much of the UK sweets I like. Milky Bars, are they UK? I love those. Haribo, pretty good. Just gummy sweets. Wham's pretty good. Smarties are basically just M&Ms. Wisps are it's just chocolate. Maltesers, they're interesting. That's like a what are in Maltesers actually? It's a malt thing, isn't it? What is inside a Malteser? Java cakes? Do you mean Jaffa cakes? What is this? Malted milk. Ah, that's what's in there. You mean a Jaffa cake? Jaffa cake. Jaffa cake's pretty good. I'm not a big fan of orange chocolate though. But Jaffa cakes are good. I would never, Winky Face. How dare you? You're gonna come in here and be like, look, Steve made a character, but I made it better. And I'm gonna be like, yeah, but I'm not really a character. She's like, so I'm better than you. Oh, have I got down my desktop? I can drag it into the chat now. You can have the grey one. That's my desktop. Announce. No, no announcement. Reference. I have a reference channel. I forgot about that. Oh, that's the wrong project. I want to bring chat back up. There you go. Jaffa. It's Jaffa. Jaffa. That's the most British thing. What is the most British thing? What a tea. I don't like a lot of British cultural foods though. And people say that we have the worst food, and I kind of agree. I think our food is really bland in most cases. Like, yeah. I have a bunch of friends who probably disagree with that, but I do think our food is relatively bland. I can't. Afternoon tea? I mean, you mean like where you sit there with a cake and stuff? Because it's not very common. I think the problem with British culture from other countries is a lot of places think we're a lot more traditional than we are. Where I think probably, I wouldn't say we're American. Maybe we are more American-like. But our culture isn't that much of a difference compared to somewhere like America. I remember when someone was like, but then you like walk around with top hats and stuff, and I looked at them like, are you seriously think we walk around with top hats like and wearing suits? And I'm like, yeah. I was like, okay. I mean, that's so funny. The fact that people have that perception of me, like they look at me and they must think, oh, Steve's wearing weird clothing right now. He should be wearing a suit. Where's he put his top at? That's so funny. Just the concept of that is hilarious to me. Let's grab one of these, pop it over here. Spin it around. Stuff it in. Like you make a killer gravy over a gravy and pie. Yeah, pretty much. And a Dutch anywhere wooden shoes. Wait, that's not true. What did I had someone say I don't sound British because I should be saying pip pip cheerio. I remember that comment. That was a funny one. I've heard a lot of funny comments about being British. Pip pip cheerio. Right, governor? I can't even think of like British words. The only one that comes to mind is governor, which we don't say. We don't say governor. Maybe some really old blokes might say governor, right, gov? Yeah, maybe that, all right, gov. I've heard that sometimes. They hear boss a lot. Cheers, boss. Well, I don't hear it a lot. When I used to work in retail, probably 1 in every 50 people used to say boss. Gov, I don't think I've ever heard anyone say gov to me in retail. Bruv? Bruv? Yeah, I'd probably hear bruv more. I hear fam a decent amount, but more ironically, because fam is kind of like a chav. It's family. I don't know if anywhere else is it. It means family, but you call your mates, oh, all right, fam. But me and my mates use it ironically, like, right, fam, because we're not chavs. Chavs are. It stands for Cancel House the Violent, but they're kind of like the. I don't know, people who walk around like trousers up high and stuff, like trying to act gangster. Not quite that, but any reason you choose to make it in T pose rather than Yama's mannequin A pose? Because my mate's rigging it and he wanted it in T pose. So. And from most riggers I know, they tend to want it in T pose because he's gonna rig it. I'm not gonna reuse like the A pose mannequin in Unreal. Basically, everything I've done that you guys might be like, why have you done this? It's probably because my mate requested it be that way. And as I said earlier, I'm more comfortable changing the way I do something to the way he wants, to the result he wants. I want to make him as comfortable as possible working on this. You know what I mean? The more comfortable he is, the less friction he will find between the work and his work. He drew the concept as well. He's very multi-talented. He's actually amazing. Like, he's an animator, a rigger, and a concept artist. That is so different. Like, don't get me wrong, I do a lot of different things, right? Like I said, I do a lot of jobs at my place. But they all sort of intertwine in one way or another. Yeah, there's a lot of transferable skills. Being a concept artist, rigger, and animator are so different. And I find it so cool that he could do all three. Amazing to me. He probably can model if he tried. If I'm using it in Unreal, I try to make it near the mannequin shape as possible so I could just transfer the weights from the mannequin itself. Yeah. That's a really smart way to do it. I know a lot of people who do it that way. It's not a lazy way, it's a smart way. That's what I'm saying. I need to fill this gap and this gap. But we're very close, very close. Is that too much hair at the back? Maybe, but oh well. We're mainly going to be looking at character from the front. I don't know how much we're going to care about how messy his hair looks from the back. Wish I was more creative. I'm a 3D conceptual designer and a programmer. Most of a technical mind than anything. Technical mind striving to be a creative one. That's kind of what I am, though. As I said earlier, I'm not a great artist, but I do a lot of technical things to make up for that. I think the reason I like talking about that so much about not being a good artist myself, because I want people to realize that the dreams aren't like, oh, I want to be a 3D artist, but I suck at drawing, or I don't think I'm a good artist. I want people to realize that you don't need to be good at drawing. You don't need to be amazing at a lot of the stuff people probably think they need to be good at to be a 3D artist. And I think the more people that realize that, the like, if that's why I tell people, like I just said, I'm a bad artist, because I think it would help people realize that you can come from a background like mine where you suck at all these things, but you can put what you know to work and get results you're looking for. You know, you just strive to be what you want to be. Like your volume, but as you said, it's mostly going to be in front for the most. Maybe you don't need to. Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. It is lacking volume, and I think basically to have more hair coming down here. Now, maybe I should just keep doing that, adding more and more and more, make it come up over here more. But it's all like maybe a bit more coming off here. But if I'm not going to be looking at this part of it, it may just be because I have to optimize all that too. So maybe wasting my time doing all that. You just want to be the very best, like no one ever was. Exactly. And to model them is my real test. I can't think of a good line for the rest of that. The train is your choice. I'll wrap them all. 3D art. And then you can have the same line. You know, you teach me and I'll teach you. 3D art. Do we want bits coming down here? I think we do, right? Because you get... Wait. Well, I guess you don't get hair going underneath your ear, right? So maybe we don't want to put any hair there. No, maybe that is fine. Cool, and he's got a whole head of hair. Again, we can make it look better, but I think that's pretty good. Oh, so I need to do the tail. No idea how I want to do the tail. I'm not going to look at the reference because I don't think I'm going to be able to match that. So we're just going to try to make sort of a tail looking thing. How would the tail work? Yeah, it'll come to a point, right? So let me pull you back and then pull you in. Cool. And you guys could be pulled in. Look at this. Probably should fill the end too, so we get a bit like this. Not right. First off, I think we need to think about what profile we want to use. Because look at the hair here. How am I going to replicate that? That's pretty insane. Too chunky. That's how it looks like it'd be the best. I can't really use particle hair though, because I want to make it a physical mesh. Because I'm going to be, I mean, I want it all to match the same style, and because it's going to be used for game engine. Like right now, I'm just messing around, see what results I can get. More than anything, like this looks kind of naff, but it's fine. We're fine with it looking naff right now. We're just looking for. We're basically messing around till we can get kind of something we're looking for. Kind of works like hair, but still not what I'm looking for. Go grab this. Now the question is, am I also needing to do something like this to make it come from the side? Well, it's inverted. 1 second. That's what I'm looking for. Gonna be hell. Gonna be hell for the rig. No, because he'll just rig it up to here. The end part, I don't think he'll. Maybe he will. You'd be surprised because he'll just weigh it in the middle, so it sort of looks like it's swaying. I don't actually think that'd be too difficult. It looks like it would be, but I actually think it'd be simpler than you'd expect. We'll be treated as one. Yeah, exactly. Like, it kind of looks like it'd be difficult, but it actually won't be. Pretty much. Goes the wrong way. Again, I'm just messing around though. No judgment. I'm just trying to put some shapes together to see what works and what doesn't. And to see if this is a viable way of doing it, or if I have to resort to another way of getting the tail done. Let's swap this over with this one. Nope. This one. Oh, maybe not. Maybe that was fine. Or maybe that one. Yeah, that's fine. Oh my god. It's actually what I said earlier about to Muhammad, like sometimes you just need to sit in here, mess around, and even though you know you're going to delete what you're working on, it's just good practice to try to get something you think could work. It looks more like a flower now. Yeah, that's about to open up and be a flower. So that doesn't work very well. Okay, so what if we looked at this actual tail and we saw got one piece here, What we've got a thick piece here. We could probably make one coming from here, and then we've got another piece we could get probably coming from here. So we could actually break that down into 3 pieces. That'd be very difficult. I think what we're gonna say is we're gonna say goodbye to streaming for today, and I'm gonna probably try to do that off stream. I think we did decent progress. I wish his hair was shorter. I might add more volume to it and actually get more parts coming off of it. We have been streaming for 2.5 hours, to be fair. I'm allowed a break. But man, whoops, it's not what I meant to. Global, that is global. Go up. Yeah. God, every time I move something, something else clips. I shouldn't be worrying about it as much as I am, but it's very annoying to see. Like here, look, you can see. Oh, that's because it doesn't go up far enough, actually. If I make another one and then pull that across and over. And then this part's clipping in here. I shouldn't worry because, like I said, when it's actually textured, you won't realize things are even clipping, but... And then this part clips here. I kind of want to see that instead. And then I bet if I do that, it's clipping here. No? That's not too bad. Okay. Okay. I think if you added thinner hairs, that last one could have worked. Maybe. I like to have the base volume mesh, like I said yesterday, then use it. Yeah, true, to draw the curvature on the mesh itself with the pen, but it's just another way to do the same job. No, you're right or wrong. Yeah, you're right. I could do a lump and actually just make a sculpt it and then start digging in details of what a hair would be. That could work. But equally, do I want to do it a different way than I've done the hair right now? Because this works right now. We actually don't even need a dome cap that we could texture. We could just do it on the base. It was a little bit more time consuming. This actually cuts it into the ear. Let's make it not do that. There you go. I mean, I've already got... God, how do I... Does this go underneath this or on top of this? Probably underneath. Yeah, probably more like that. There you go. Kind of got a bald bit here. I should probably add something here. I mean, this is already clipping underneath. There you go. That's good. Maybe make this part a little bit thicker. Ooh. A bit thicker. There you go. So we get the hair covering over there. The problem is I could literally be here all day doing this. There's so much to mess with to get to work. Yeah, it's like here, look, I've got this as a mesh too, which is just bits coming out overlapping each other. But it worked for what I wanted for the end of the hair because it just looks like this. So I was like, okay, that's good. That works. But yeah, anyways, we're going to call it a day. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. For those of you who are not obviously part of the Discord, I think all of you joined it anyway. There's obviously that there. And yeah, I will catch you guys probably next Friday. Again, as always, if I have any extra motivation after a random work day, after 8 hours of work, 8.5 hours, I have an hour break, I might stream. We'll see how it goes. So, I will likely catch you guys next Friday. Are you going to add cuts to the ears? Yes, but because it's mirrored right now, I didn't want to add it yet. I wanted to finish the mirror and then get the bite out the ear. I mean, adding the hair strand splines with the pen tool, so you have the same result without sculpting, but I was just saying, don't you worry. True. Anyways, I'll catch you guys next Friday. Bye-bye.